Good morning. Welcome to Apprentice of Silence and welcome to your daily morning reading. These readings are specifically aimed for those of us who embody the divine feminine in our lifetime, and we have made it a conscious choice to choose softness and to receive instead of trying to fight in a world that doesn't work anymore. So dramatic. But yeah, it's just so that I know who I'm aiming these messages for. And of course, everyone who's here, you're more than welcome to be here. So excited. And yeah, I set the intention to create a safe space where we can connect, and you can just choose to tune into that. I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. So lovely to have you here. Good morning. Let's draw some messages first, and then I'll have my coffee. A wave of sadness just came over me. Your emotions are not you. Create a feeling of safety by seeing how emotions are a sense. Universe can't bring you what you don't want. If I would only teach you one thing, it would be to question everything, especially your own solid truths. They're showing me one of those Russian dolls in like snake skin. So I believe they're talking about transformations and letting go of protector aspects or personalities, letting go of certain identifications and shredding skin basically, but also shredding identities. Okay, let's talk about guilt. Guilt about when you come to the point in your journey as you're at where you get to choose who you want to be, and you've learned enough of how your triggers feel, like how that reaction feels to you, so that you're now have the availability to choose how you respond to that. And you can have a billion different tools for how you do this. Me personally, right now, I'm trying to change the association I have with every single thing that comes up. So like I'm going in and I'm trying to reprogram the subconscious mind to have a different association, and then just bring me back into this like appreciative state of where I currently am at, and all the beautiful things that I have, and all the possibilities, and all the things I see and do, So it's like a combination of both, and but in order to be able to do that, there has to be some kind of work resolving pain, resolving guilt. And a vision I got when I was channeling information of what to do with my own guilt, they showed me a flower. If you imagine a flower just growing, the flower has to be open to receiving the sunlight. A flower needs to be open to receive the sunlight. Like, it needs to be able to draw in the sunlight, meaning it needs to receive it, because the sunlight is shining, right? But if for some reason there is some vibrational block within the flower, and the flower has now chosen to, oh no, I don't want it. I don't want to receive the sunlight, because it thinks that it's in the benefit for itself to not receive the sunlight. It will block out the sunlight, and then none of its processes can work, and then the flower dies. Like, it atrophies and dies. What if the flower was feeling guilt for receiving sunlight, which is like a basic necessity for it to thrive, live, and even be? So the whole purpose for its being is kind of goes hand in hand with its ability to receive sunlight. Like, it's just there, right? Like, it's almost absurd on this level. But what if it was feeling guilt about it? Then it would tell itself reasons for why it doesn't want it. And everything in the universe, everything in its own existence and beings will turn so that it can bring into what is desired. What is desired is to block out the sunlight. So it will develop some kind of biochemical response to sunlight so that it shuts down. I don't know. Now, this normally doesn't happen in flowers. But I believe it was a good example, at least for me. Because I got to play around. I got to question it. And I was like, well, flowers aren't necessary. And stupid stuff like that. But the flower also gives. Like, first, it's a plant. So simply by it being, it transmutes the, oh my god, I don't know what the name is in English. Carbon monoxide, carbon oxide, carbon, koldioxid, CO2. It transforms CO2 into O2. So, and by doing that, it gives life to everything around it, especially beings, animals, things that breathe. So it enables everyone else around it to breathe, the whole ecosystem to breathe. That's amazing. But if it would be resisting the sunlight, thinking that it doesn't want it, or deciding that it doesn't want it, the whole process wouldn't be able to work, and it wouldn't be able to enable what's living around it, the O2 that these beings and these, plants, kingdoms, whatever's need. And also, if you think of flowers, what about like bees and insects that come to it and that provide honey and, and live because of this flower, because of its blooming, because of its non-resistance to its purpose? So here's the question. Is the flower evil and bad for wanting to receive sunlight? I kid you not, like, I was literally bugged by this. And it mirrored so hard my resistance to just receiving life in general. And that was guilt. I made it mean that I don't want to receive it because somehow I decided that it wouldn't benefit me. Somehow not receiving it would benefit me more and keep me more in safety than to receive. And that's being out of reality. That's like telling yourself a whole bunch of lies about how this works. Because in reality, if a flower does not receive sunlight, it dies. Harsh, but it's kind of the same for us. If we don't receive life, we die. because we oppose life. So you have come now to the point where perhaps there is guilt for who you choose to become, where you choose to expand, and whomever will most likely not be able to commit to the same path that you're on. And the guilt might take the shape of like, oh, well, then I'll have to explain to my, say, friends or people I know, when they question the life choices that I've made and the positions that I'm at. Like, I have to control what I'm gonna say to them. I have to know, like, I don't want to be taken the wrong way. And if I'm taken the wrong way, there will be so much guilt for being who I am. And that's called shame. If I'm feeling like being who I am and being it is a bad thing, then I'm shaming myself for my existence. Now, a flower that shamed itself for its existence atrophies and dies very quickly. And my mind just went, oh, then it's fertilizing the earth, so it's fine. It's not fine for the flower. It's not fine for the flower. For the flower, it is not fine. And for the aspect of universal consciousness that came down to become that flower, it is not fine. It's the same for us. We can't start thinking of like, oh, well, I'm not necessary in this picture because, something will take my place either way, and like it will work, but it won't be fine for you. Don't do it. Like, you deserve to be in your spot and do what you do and be who you are. Just like that flower. I use that flower actually in visualizations when I'm trying to like rechange some thought patterns, when I'm like, hold on, flower needs to receive. I'm the same. There is no difference. Even if my heart is like, there's a difference. You're selfish. No. Oh, honey, no. I get to decide. And it's the same here. There's a lot of emphasis on guilt today, and what we make certain things mean, and why we haven't been okay with allowing things to come into us and to our existence. And that's like majorly what they want us to focus on today. Stop betraying yourself in the name of love, and stop staying in scenarios where you really want to go, you really want to do something else, and for your own sake, you know that you want something else, but you have decided of somehow of what, like, no, I can't do this, that would not be good, even if that's what you want. I would say go ahead and continue on the path of like working through and finding explanations for your guilt, and changing your narrative and changing the thoughts you're thinking and starting to embody more of what you want. But it's just a process, and this message today is just a reminder of like, yes, this is important work that you do. Yes, this is collective for the group consciousness. And we're going through this kind of phase of like a guilt processing thing. So if you want to comment down below and like share about your own guilt or whatever the path is bringing to you today, and we can brainstorm together and like break it down and learn from each other. Yes, absolutely, definitely. Yes. If you want to share something else, then go ahead, you know? And then don't forget to bring back the energy of what you would like instead. Because it's easy to go down the rabbit hole and just, it's not complaining, but it's easy to go down the rabbit hole of trauma and pain and complaint about that. And not remembering that, well, we also have to create and bring in. So equally doing that and reminding all of us to do that. And then bring ourselves back to the marvelous point in existence where we at and where we get to choose things that really bring us like, oh, I really like this. And like surround yourself with things that remind you of how much you really like things, how much you really enjoy living life. And receive. Again, the flower is not guilty of receiving the sunshine. It just does. It's what it was made for. Everything else is BS. Thank you so much. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow. And the safe space is open and available for you. Always. So you can stay there for as long as you like and exit just when you're done. I love you. Bye.